Welcome to the Genius Way Show with your host, Ben Hummell. The aim of this show is to provide education, encouragement, and insights for people who are on their own personal development journeys. As a psychotherapist, teacher, author, and creator of the Genius Way process, Ben will focus on identifying common challenges to living a purposeful life, and will share valuable psychological and spiritual tools to help you make healthy and empowering life changes. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey friends, welcome to the Genius Way Show. I'm your host, Ben Hummell. It's so good to be here with you again this week, as today we're going to be talking a little bit about meditation. And what is meditation? What does it mean to you? What have your experience has been? And I hope to get into this in a way that's going to really help people on their personal development journey. So let me start out with a little story. So once there was a guy who wanted to learn about meditation. So he went to a Zen meditation teacher. And he was there in an interview with him, and they sat down at a little table. And the teacher brought out a teapot and a couple of cups of tea. And he said, before we talk about meditation, would you like some tea? To the man. He said, sure, I'd like to have some tea. And so he lifts up the pot and he's pouring tea into the glass or into the cup. And he's pouring it and pouring it. And it's getting fuller and fuller until finally it reaches the top and it starts to spill over the top. And the visitor says, well, wait, what's going on? You can't fit any more. No more is going to go in that cup. And the teacher puts the pot down. He says, exactly. You came here asking me about meditation with a cup that was filled with ideas of what meditation is, with a cup, your own cup is filled with, your concepts and your history with it. And the effort before we learn meditation is to empty your cup. You got to have room for that new learning to take place. You have to have space in order to receive something else, because every time you come here, you will be filled with your ideas instead of being a receptor, a reception, a place of reception for what I have to teach you. So that little metaphor is really perfect when it comes to describing what meditation is, because, you can call meditation listening to, headspace, where you have someone speaking to you, have some music, or there's a guided journey. I call that a guided journey. You can call meditation to think or pray about something, to dwell on something and to kind of like meditate on something, right? There's a lot of ways to describe what meditation is, but for the sake of today and how it kind of leans into working with your genius and having meditation as a kind of like a transformative tool, we're going to talk about meditation in a slightly different way. So how I see meditation is that it's not an action. Start with that. So, the word connotates, hey, I'm going to go and meditate. It sounds like you're going to do something, like I'm going to go paint a house, or I'm going to go throw a baseball, or I'm going to go meditate. Sounds like a verb, right? Like I'm going to go do something. But in reality, meditation is the opposite of doing something. It's the time when you get to not do something at all, where you kind of open up to what is foundational in you, and it's an emptying out of whatever you have in there. So, for instance, if you've ever been a meditator, if you ever tried to meditate, one of the common experiences that people have is they realize that their mind contains lots of different voices and lots of different thoughts and feelings and concerns and ideas, and that makes it kind of difficult to meditate on your chosen method of practice. Like let's say you have a mantra, and your mantra is let's just say it's Om, and you kind of, let's say you're doing a chant and you're like Om. Om. Your object is to stay on that Om. Your object is to put your whole awareness into that Om. And if you have thoughts, you come back to the sound and vibration of that Om over and over and over and over again, right? And the idea, in some lineages, is that if you could literally, if you could literally stay out of your thoughts for like 7 seconds, you would become enlightened. And what does that mean? What does enlightenment mean? I mean, we're never going to know, because once you're enlightened, no one is there to ask the question of what enlightenment is, right? And but the idea is, like, if you could stay thoughtless for 7 seconds, you would see everything completely differently. You would be awake in a whole different way. So that's how powerful it is to have your cup emptied, to have an opening, a spaciousness for something else foundational in us to be observed and to be realized, right? So anytime you have a breakthrough in meditation, it is always because you've realized something, and you've realized it because you've made space for it in your life. You've made room by moving some of the stuff out of the way. Like, have you ever seen these shows where somebody will buy an old farmhouse, and they'll go in there and there'll be hundreds of years of clutter and stuff and dirt and everything in there. And they get in, they clean the whole thing out, and then you can finally see the space and what's really beautiful about it, and what is value about the open space. Same thing with meditation. It's not an action. Meditation is a state of consciousness, a state of awareness, that if we pay attention and use a specific tool, and there's obviously a bunch of different meditation techniques, but if we use that tool consistently, and the tool is a good one, it allows us to apprehend that state of kind of transcendent beingness. I'm sounding really woo-woo, but sorry about that. It's how you have to describe this. It's a state of transcendence where you stop being only this separate person, and you realize yourself as literally part of existence. Okay, so it's pretty intense and pretty beautiful and pretty amazing. So how does this all tie into genius, right? Where's genius in all this idea of meditation, right? And why is it important or part of this? Well, meditation is our existential beingness, let's say. Meditation is not personal. It's kind of impersonal. It is who we are at our essence, without any identity whatsoever. Okay? So we have that. And then in a different area, a step up, genius is our collection of talents and skills and callings and the things that make us unique as individuals in this life. Okay? So our genius is basically a treasure chest of tools and skills and provisions for this life journey that we find ourselves on. And it has within it a blueprint of what we're supposed to express. Okay? You put that on the backdrop of meditation, and if you spend time meditating, you're going to be able to see your genius and feel it a lot more easily than if you're coming from the other side, which is pretty much like, I mean, what do you experience when you go to meditation? It's a lot of mind. It's a lot of talking, feeling, ideas. It's hard to wrestle that mind in and get, be in a state of peaceful meditation, in a state of like deep rest in meditation. And so that's why we need that tool. So coming from the other side, from mind to try to get down to genius, there's a lot of stuff in the way. But if you have also a little practice of meditation, it's easy for you to find and see your genius because it's not as deep as your foundational awareness in meditation. So I hope that makes sense. So we've got your identity as like an impersonal being here. Genius is about this life and all the skills and qualities that you're wanting to express in this life that give you fulfillment. And then on top of that is like kind of a mind ego existence, which again is necessary, but there's a lot more clutter in there. So when you use meditation as a way to center yourself, as a way to, kind of really deeply listen, deeply rest, and then looking at your genius qualities from there, it's much, much easier. So there is a huge benefit to having a meditation practice. And, I suggest that you give that a try. And so we're going to talk about that in this show today a little bit more. And we'll also do a guided visualization or a guided meditation to help you kind of see that a little bit better. So right now, take a look at this short video about meditation. And when we get back, we're going to dig into this a lot more.
Welcome to a journey of discovery. Today, let's explore the hidden benefits of meditation. You see, meditation isn't just something we do. It's a state of awareness, an experience of being fully present in the moment. Imagine waking up and feeling truly connected to yourself. That's what meditation can bring into your life. It's like a gentle whisper from within, guiding you to a place of calm and clarity. One of the most profound benefits of meditation is stress reduction. When we meditate, we create space between our thoughts and our reactions. It's in this space that we find peace. But it doesn't stop there. Meditation also enhances our emotional well-being. It helps us manage anxiety, improve our mood, and even boost our self-awareness. You start to notice patterns in your thoughts and behaviors, giving you the power to change what no longer serves you. And let's talk about focus. In our fast-paced world, our attention is constantly being pulled in a million directions. Meditation trains the mind to stay anchored in the present, improving concentration and productivity. But perhaps the most beautiful benefit of all is the sense of inner peace. When you meditate, you connect with a deeper part of yourself, a place of stillness and serenity. It's like coming home to a sanctuary within. So next time you sit down to meditate, remember, it's not just an action. It's a state of awareness, a journey inward to discover the hidden treasures of your own mind and soul. Thanks for joining me on this exploration. Take a deep breath and may your meditation practice bring you peace and joy. Until next time.
So I want to stress that, again, in my opinion, in my experience, I've been a meditator for, I don't know, maybe almost 50 years now. That's pretty crazy. But in my opinion, in my experience, meditation is, again, it's not an action. It's not a thing that we do. We can call it that. We can say we're practicing it, which seems like an action, but that's not really what it is. To me, it's a state of awareness that through like a deep rest, deeply resting, being consistently in the present moment through a meditation tool, let's say, I get to feel the timelessness of what my being really is and what everyone's being really is. Okay. You can call that the universe or existence or creation. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's something that's there. Okay. That all of this activity is kind of balanced on top of, right? And so again, I describe it as a deep rest and a remembering, right? There's something that gets remembered about that state. It feels familiar. Even though you may not have known it in this lifetime, when you start meditating, there's something familiar and beautiful about it, right? So let me give you another little story that kind of points to this. this is a Zen story where there's a student sitting there meditating, and a teacher comes by, a Zen teacher comes by, and he says to him, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the student goes, "Hey, I'm meditating." And he says, "Why are you meditating?" And he's saying, "Well, I'm meditating so that I can become a Buddha. I can become an enlightened one." And the teacher goes, "Oh, okay." And so he sits down in front of the guy, in front of the student, and he gets a brick, picks up a brick, and he starts polishing it with like a rag. And it's making a lot of noise, and it's irritating the meditator. And the student goes, "Hey, what are you doing? What's all this noise about? What's happening over there?" And the guy says, "Oh, I'm polishing a brick." And he's like, "Why are you polishing a brick?" And the teacher said, "Well, I'm polishing it to make a mirror." And the meditator, the student's like, "What?" And he's like, you can't make a mirror out of a brick. It's not possible. You polish it all day long. It's never going to happen. And the teacher says, "Yeah, and you can meditate trying to be a Buddha all day long, and that's not going to happen. It's the same thing." And so the student was like, "Oh, what about that?" And he said, "If your aim is to become a Buddha, and what you're doing is like an action with your mind, trying to become a Buddha, that will never happen, because when you stop trying to polish your ego or your separate self into something like a mirror, you realize that, oh, I'm already that. My identification with my ego, resolves or kind of subsides, and I realize, oh, I'm already what I'm trying to be." So that's the ultimate journey here, is that we're doing this practice, and I'm using air quotes with the practice. The practice of meditation is simply to find out what we already are. It's not to attain something that we don't yet have. So the less and less you do in your meditation, the better. And what you'll find is, in meditation, your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, that's kind of what it feels like. There's a fight that's going on, where you're just trying to concentrate on your chosen meditation tool, and we're going to talk about that later. And you'll see that your thoughts keep going. So I'll give you an example. So the meditation I like to do now, very, very easy. I focus on my breath. Okay. And when I say my breath, I want you to know that the breath that's going in and out of your body, it doesn't really belong to you or me. It's just kind of happening. Even if you remember it, it happens. If you don't remember it, it happens. And when it stops happening, you're dead. Okay. So something is breathing us, and it's a mystery. You don't know why, how long, but something's breathing us. So for me, when I am in meditation, I like to focus on the breath going in and out. I might slow it down a little bit, but not too much. And I just use that as the tool to bring myself back to the present moment. So, for instance, I'm going to try to be real honest right here. Okay, I'll take a deep breath in. I just thought about an old friend of mine from like 4th grade, and I see us in the summer, and he's got a white t-shirt on and jeans, and we're going to play some music or something like that. Okay, that's a thought. And so when I have that thought, I recognize, oh, it's a thought. And you come back to your breath. Now I just thought about a snake and a tom-tom drum. Why? It's insane. That's what mind does. And if you kind of look at it, you'll see that this keeps flipping around and around and around with all these random thoughts. And the practice of meditation is to have that tool, like the breath, to come back to it over and over and over again. Even if you were just thinking about something for 20 minutes and realize, I'm supposed to be meditating, and I just thought about the Brandenburg Symphony for 20 minutes, and it took me on a balloon trip around the world, and now I'm back here, right? So it seems like there's this fight set up between meditation and your mind, but it's not really a fight. There's nothing to fight against. The mind is fine doing just what it does, thinking, considering, worrying about this, hopeful about this. Emotions are there, memories are there, and it's all fine. The point is to just come back to your tool of meditation, whatever it is you're using, and to bring yourself back to the moment where you can, I love using that word, apprehend, meaning you can sense, feel, see your connection to existence, that your foundational reality is that you are existence. Okay? So that to me is why we would meditate. That to me is like what makes meditation important. Okay? So if you're trying to polish your brick into a mirror, meaning if I'm trying to make my ego into something that is actually more foundational than it's always going to come to nothing. So the fact is, meditation shows you that you're already something complete and beautiful way before your mind tries to contrive some kind of amazing thing to get out of meditation. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. So what meditations have you done? What have you done for meditation? Everything is a good to make an effort. Everything that you do in terms of trying to meditate is worthwhile, because you're going to learn something. You're going to learn something about yourself. You're going to learn about what happens when you make an attempt to be in this present moment, and when you make an attempt to empty your cup, and when you make an attempt to think you're getting something out of meditation. So just look at that right there. I said, are you getting something out of meditation? Who is it? Who's getting something out of meditation? Are you meditating with your ego, or are you bigger than your ego, trying to know yourself as more? So there's all kinds of reasons that people meditate. It's up to you why you would want to do something like this. But the main reason is so that you would have a part of your identity be more foundational, less personal, and more substantial than kind of the ego that comes and wavers back and forth, that gets triggered, and that you have a place that's deeper than your psychology, basically. Okay, which happens in the personality level. So lots of benefits to meditation. All right, we're going to take a commercial break, and on the other side of that commercial, we're going to do a guided meditation, which means I am going to guide you through a way to connect with probably your breath that I use, that I hope is going to be very, very helpful for you. And then hopefully you'll be able to take this on and practice it in your own life. We'll see you on the other side. Hey guys, I'm really excited to let you know that I'm finishing up my new course, the Genius Way Process course. This course is for anyone who wants to discover what's in their genius, their inborn gifts, their talents, and their callings. In this course, I'm going to provide you with the 10 life skills that we all need to access our individual genius and to make it a part of our everyday life. If you'd like to know more about the Genius Way Process course and when it's available, go to thegeniusway.com and sign up to get notified. I can't wait to share this with you. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, and then deeply exhale. For this meditation, we'll use our breath as the tool to focus our awareness. Breathing slowly in and slowly out of your nose notice the sensation of the air as it enters with your inhale and then leaves with your exhale. And now notice how it feels as it touches the outer surface of your nostrils, going in and moving out. Allow your attention to remain at that point, just being with the sensation of your breath moving in and then moving out. If a thought arises in your awareness, just inwardly say, "thought," and then return your focus to your breath. If a memory arises in your awareness, just inwardly say, "memory," and then return your focus to your breath. If a feeling arises in your awareness, just inwardly say, "feeling," and then return your focus to your breath. Take a few moments now to do this practice of calmly and consistently returning your attention and focus to your breath. By naming these things as they arise and then returning to your breath, you begin to see the impermanence of your thoughts, memories, and feelings. By returning to your breath each time, you begin to see the permanence of your own being as the backdrop upon which your thoughts, memories, and feelings appear and disappear. You can see that practicing meditation is about returning again and again to the object of your focus and awareness. And now, with this experience fully intact in your awareness, and when you're ready, open your eyes and come back into this room. So, besides all of the things that I've kind of shared earlier in the show, there are really amazingly deep and beneficial qualities that happen when we meditate. Let me just kind of get to my notes, and I'm going to read you a few. For our mental health, meditation helps reduce anxiety, depression, PTSD, helps even with social anxiety, fear, and obsessive compulsive behaviors. It improves focus, attention span, and memory. It helps fight age-related memory loss and dementia. It can help you fall asleep faster and improves the quality of your sleep. It can reduce pain and improve emotional regulation. It can lower blood pressure, which reduces strain on the heart and the blood vessels. Meditation can help you build skills to manage stress and reduce negative feelings. It can help you be more creative and patient. It can also make you more self-aware and help you focus on the present. And the best thing, meditation can rewire the brain by building new neurological connections and increase gray matter and cortical thickness. Okay, so those are just a few of the physical benefits that happen. But even deeper than that, I want to share with you what happens when we meditate and we are trying to express ourselves through like one of our genius qualities, let's say. Okay, so again, meditation is at a deeper level. And by meditation, again, remember, I'm not talking about an action. I'm talking about a state of consciousness, a state of awareness. It's almost like a plane of existence, right? And so when we're in that meditative state, it's deeper than where genius exists. And so moving from a meditative state to find your genius qualities, to find the things you brought here with you to express and to share with the world, it's not that far away. It's not the same as digging through your ideas and worries and fears and dreams and hopes to try and find it. It's more like, oh, it's right there. The genius that I brought with me that is mine to express is very easily accessible from that place. Because when you're in a meditative state, you're not worried about finding it. You're not concerned about it hiding from you and wondering what it is. It kind of it's more accessible to you when you have developed a way or a pattern of being in that kind of deep state of meditation. Genius is way more accessible. Let me just put it that way. It doesn't seem so impossible, and it feels really, really, I'm not going to say it feels easy, but it's much more doable to express your genius, find it, know what it is, than if you didn't have some kind of meditation practice to do. Okay? So again, it's kind of a misleading thing to say practicing meditation. It is what we do, but when we're there and we're connecting to our breath or whatever tool you're using, mantra, other techniques, the only thing that you're really practicing is to bring yourself back to this present moment so that you empty the cup of all of your ego and your thoughts and everything and kind of drop down into that meditative state. Drop down into that beautiful place that is not something alien to you. It's part of your own being. That state of consciousness is more of who you are. Okay? So that's the best way I can describe it. So let's take another commercial right now. And when we come back, I'm going to send you off in your week with some creative and inspiring words. And we'll see you on the other side.
Ben Hummell's writing comes from a deep well of experience, practice, and wisdom. The Genius Way teaches you the life skills you need to find your own unique genius. Summoning Genius helps readers to turn a midlife crisis into an opportunity for personal growth. You can find Ben's books on thegeniusway.com, Amazon, and most online booksellers.
Meditation is more a noun than a verb. It's a state of consciousness that already exists, and the practice of meditation is really the practice of being comfortably still amid the busyness of our own mind and the chaos of the world around us. When we meditate, we're acknowledging our oneness with a foundational reality that doesn't ever waver or change. By returning again and again to the meditative state, we gradually come to know it as the quality of our deepest self and to carry that connection with us, even in our outward-facing lives. And that's our show for this week. Thanks for stopping by, and I really enjoy spending this time with you. And now, here is your weekly self-inquiry journal prompt. What place does meditation have in your life? Once again, what place does meditation have in your life? Okay. So until next week, guys, I want to invite you to stay curious, be kind to yourself, and remember that your genius has something to say.
Thanks for watching The Genius Way Show with Ben Hummell. Make sure to visit thegeniusway.com for the resources you need to help you on your personal life journey. You can contact Ben at ben@thegeniusway.com. And you can follow The Genius Way with Ben Hummell on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for streaming The Genius Way Show with Ben Hummell.